Hello and welcome. How are we all doing today? I hope you're all doing okay and you're all doing good. So this week on another series of the Bandit videos, we are going to be fitting a USB. So obviously with the older motorbikes or motorcycles or mopeds or anything like that, you don't get any kinds of USBs. Not probably do on the newer ones, maybe. I've seen it, you do on some of the newer ones, but obviously the older ones you don't. And if you need to charge your phone up, you're kind of a bit screwed. Obviously you can carry power packs with you, which I probably will do as well still. But something like this bad boy would definitely come in handy, especially when I'm trying to do my GoPro videos, but the GoPro fails because it can't handle the bloody cold. So I'm going to have a USB fitted, which I've just dropped, to the bike, so I can run a permanent power to the GoPro. But I'm going to wire it in a way that it goes on and off with the ignition. So what we're going to do, we're going to try and fit this. I'm going to put it in a way in a location as well that's easy to get to, so I don't have to take the seat off every time as well. I've seen a few people on the old Bandit forums and other motorcycle forums or Facebook pages and groups that these people have done this as well. And a couple of them have done them in the same location. I think it's really bloody clever. So I thought, you know what, I'm going to take others along with me, show you how it's done, and show you how to wire it into the wiring, so you don't have to have an on and off switch. I know there's USB sockets out there now which have on and off buttons as well, so I probably will get one of those, and you wire those straight up to the battery, which is handy. It's great, but obviously I can't afford one of those yet. They're not much, they're like 10-15 quid, but money's tight and all that at the moment. I had this one laying around, so I thought, you know what, I've got all the bits and bobs in the house I need, or in the shed that I need to do this. So I thought, you know what, I'm going to give it a bash. It can't be too hard. I found a live wire that I can use. I found an earthing point I can use. It's got a great location. It's going to be near the fuel tank and kind of out the way when it's leant over on the side stand away from the rain. It is a waterproof one-ish because it's got the rubber cap on the front. So when it's parked up, I can put the cap on. When it's turned off, it's not going to be on. So let's get cracking. Let's start this, shall we? So I've already made a start. I've made the earthing strap with a nice piece of red wire. Obviously, I know I should be using a different colour wire, but I know what it is. I've got the long wire, which is already attached, already laying around somewhere. Where did I bloody put the long wire? Ah, there's the longer wire, which I'm going to need. That goes straight onto the back of the charging point. That one does as well. I've put a bit of heat shrink on it. You're gonna need some kind of electrical kit. I've got these fan dangled soldering heat shrinks, which I think are amazing. So thank you to the Bearded Mechanic for showing these on your YouTube page. I've got some, and they are fantastic. I've got a little heat gun just there as well, which fills up with gas, so I can heat shrink everything. Yes, so let's get going. Let's get this fitted and see if it works. I'm going to look like a right fool if it doesn't work though, aren't I? So what we're going to do, we're going to fit this in the panel that slides underneath, that sits underneath the tank. So we're going to pop it about there. So when it's over on the side stand, it's going to be over like that, away from the rain. And yes, so let's get a hole drilled, or a space for the area to go, or the thing to go. Let's pop it about there, I'd say. You don't want it too near there. So I'll probably say about there. Let's mark it with a screw. Actually, there's my pencil just there. I can see that in the light. There we go. Hopefully you can too. Let's get some flat bits. Also, I'd probably use a proper whole one in there, but I haven't got one, unfortunately. Not one of this size. It's no, gonna need a bigger one than that. No, that should do it. That's a 32 mil. Got my drill bit of my beautiful Milwaukee drill. I bloody love Milwaukee. Don't know if I said that before. Nice and slow. You don't want to break this. I say nice and slow. Oh, slipped. Nearly there. There we go. So let's tidy that up. Let's get a file, tidy that up. There we go. That's in there, but that's in there. That's not going to pop through. Let's pop that cap on the other side, or the ring piece, the retainer. Pinch that up. Get this up as tight as possible. So obviously you don't want this to go through, do you? There we go. That'll do for now. That's in there. I'll try and tidy that up in a minute with a bit of a Stanley blade. Just clean it all up. Probably will have to get another one of these because I don't like that. That looks bloody awful. But hey ho, what can I do about it? I ballsed up, I mucked up. Don't do what I do. Let's get this wiring on. So in fact, what I'm going to do, so you've got to make a note. That's the minus. That's the plus, obviously. You know what that is. Positive ground. Let's get the ground on. So I don't know if you can see. I'm going to put the ground in one of those little bolts just there. One of those little holes, those little nuts. Because they aren't used on this model of Bandit. So I'm going to chuck a little bolt in there. And the wire for the earth. But just because I want to make sure we've got enough wire. I do plan to put an inline fuse at some point. Oh, that's a bit bloody fiddly. Trying to hold the camera in place. Get a couple of threads on that so I can get a socket on there. There we go. Right, let's get a socket on that. So that's that bolted on place. That's that there in place. Let's get the live wire on. I'm going to show you where I'm going to feed the live wire. Dee-dee-dee. Hopefully it's long enough. Otherwise I might be a bit annoyed. So we're going to run the red wire to the brown wire on the rear light. The reason being behind this is the easiest live wire I can find without having to dig inside the headlight. Now I'm going to have to dig inside the headlight at some point. Let's get my snips. So we're going to cut that. This is where it all goes Pete Tong now, isn't it? No rear light. But this is a live wire that is only live when it's turned on. So we're going to pop that on now. Might have to trim this plastic up a little bit. We're going to trim these up. Slide that on. Slide it over. Heat it up. That's on. It's a bit tight. Just enough to mount the solder inside the thing now. Obviously you could probably use crocodile clips, the quick clips, which are great, but they don't give you a bit of waterproofness on that as such. So let's take you in. Hopefully you can see that not very well, but there we go. So there's the old brown, there's a brown wire, there's a red wire coming down from the feed, solder in the middle, all soldered up. Can't see it very well. There we go. I'll see if I can zoom in on that on the video editing. But yeah, solder, bit of clamping. There's a plug. Fingers crossed the light will still work, otherwise I'll be a bit buggered. Thread it up through there. Or should I get one of those other ones? I can cut wood there and connect it to the battery live and put an inline up here, inline fuse. It's all going up through there. I'm going to cable tie it all up and hope and pray, fingers crossed. And there we go. Happy days. I'm going to plug a wire in there and see if it does start to charge the phone. So I'm using this on an old GoPro. Let's turn that off. You can see what bloody time it is as well, can't you? Fingers crossed. Let's plug that in. Excuse me, because I've not got the GoPro hooked up to anything at the moment. So I'm literally holding this old GoPro Hero in my hand. Fingers crossed. There we go. It's charging. Happy days. Quite chuffed with that. Let's try and spin that around. There we go. That is charging up. Pretty bloody chuffed with that. So get it all back together. Got a video of the locks to come as well, because I bought a new lock set, because as said, I think on a previous video I got 3 keys for this and I only want 1 key and 1 spare. Got that to go, and I think that's it. Maybe a little ride out at some point, and just a general tidy up of the bike and get it all back together. So anyway, let's put the bike back together, see how we get along. Hopefully the rear light will work. So there we go. It is done. I've got my USB. Happy days. I can now charge my GoPro and my phone at the same time. Obviously there's a few little bits I want to sort out on it. Obviously I buggered up with that, but it is what it is. I'll get a new one of those or try and source a second hand one, but I won't do that till I've got another USB socket, because you can get, like, as said, the one I want to get eventually is what, it's got a little button there to turn it on and off, and then I'll probably rewire it to the battery, straight to the battery. And the other one has a USB-C and a USB. Being that the GoPro and the newer iPhones are now USB-Cs, it'll be handy to have both. Yes, so happy days. Remember, if you're liking the videos, give us a like, share and subscribe. It doesn't cost a thing. It helps out the channel greatly. And I'll see you next week. Adios amigos, buenos noches, goodbye. So in case you're wondering, what if that gets wet? I put a rubber glove around it. Cut the finger off a rubber glove. That's going to help keep the connections all dry. Even though it's going to be tucked up in there, it doesn't look. Another USB thing with a switch on. I can connect it straight up to the battery. In case you're wondering, I have fitted a fuse now. Just there. I fitted an inline fuse. I might try and wrap it up as well, just to give it a bit of waterproofing. Excuse it, mucky cable ties. So since making this video, I've sourced this, which is in the shed or in my car. So I've fitted this now. It looks much tidier, much tidier. But we'll still try and source another one of these panels, because I wasn't happy with the mess behind it. Thank you very much for watching. Goodbye.